面对贫富差距越拉越大，劫富济贫显然不是选项，征收富人税成为许多政治人物的考虑项目。
If you make $1 billion, great.Just pay your fair share.
按照2020年的调查，全世界最穷的50%人口只拥有全球2%的财富，最有钱的10%则是掌握全球76%的财富，而顶尖的1%财产就占了其中的2/3。这样庞大的差异，就连不少富人阶级都看不下去，主动要求政府加税。
We're talking about extreme wealth. We're talking about multimillionaires and billionaires. This is about the wealthy contributing more to society, the extremely wealthy contributing more, and being proud to do that actually and contribute to the kind of society we want to live in. We're also talking about actually fairer tax on income from wealth, tax on dividends, tax on capital gains and those kinds of things, which again are disproportionate at the moment. They're actually lower than taxes on income.Which doesn't really sound fair.
今年初的 G20 财长会议就严拟要求全球最有钱的3000名亿万富豪设立全球性的最低税率。
At one end, it's just a search for revenue. One natural place to go is to think, well, let's go to the people with the biggest wallets.
不同于我们一般支付的所得税或是针对资产收入课征的赋税，富人税将会更全面性的计算这些富豪的税务。
If you want a wealth tax that's actually going to be effective at the top end, well, you typically want to start at quite a high threshold to do that. Then you can design a tax that's really focused on that group and works really well for that group. And we use other taxes like capital gains tax and taxation of dividends, inheritance tax, to cover that much more mass market.
其实，在上个世纪的欧洲一度兴起富人税，但因为担心效益问题，就逐渐松绑。专家认为，主要原因还是在课税的方式引起争议。
One of the problems that some countries have faced with the wealth taxes that they had was they had lots of different exemptions. They said, we're going to exclude certain asset classes, we're going to have reliefs in various places, and all of these things sort of undermined the tax base for the wealth tax. It meant that not all of the wealth was included. That meant you weren't getting as much money. But also it meant that people were really against it because it feels like playing favorites.
另外也有声音质疑，就算祭出富人税，这些超级富豪也会财产转移。
If you have a wealth tax that only applies to certain assets and other assets are exempt, that can lead to behavioral patterns where individuals will then shift their wealth into exempt assets. We certainly see individuals looking at other countries to see if there was a wealth tax to be introduced, would there be merit in moving?
专家的担心不是没有原因，挪威就从去年开始征收富人税，当地70大的富豪之一科斯塔就把资产给搬到了瑞士。
They doubled this taxation from one day to another, and this is the reason because Norwegian business owners are forced.to leave the country. This is a great impact for a lot of people, me as well, and it's not sustainable in the long run.
除了资产外流，专家担心的是征税的成本过高，实际上政府拿到的税金并不是像想象中这么多。
There is more cost on the tax authority side because they'll definitely need to be doing additional valuations that they're not having to engage with now. A different area of cost that you could be worried about is what does it do to, for example, incentives to invest. It could be the case that if you introduce a tax that affects investment, people might want to invest less.
但根据欧盟税务观察研究，如果针对全球2756位亿万富豪征收2%的富人税，一年就能多出2500亿美元的资金。如果向全球100万以及亿万富豪征收5%的税，就能帮助高达20亿人口脱离贫穷。但如何研拟出精准的税务制度以及后续税金的利用方式，才应该是富人税能长期改善社会问题的关键。TVBS 新闻综合报道。